Hello everyone, this is Babamot. Welcome to another Homeworlds commentary. This is between Simon and Tilt. And I've talked about both of these players a little before. Simon has played for a very long time, was pretty dominant on Super Duper games, and has come to Board Game Arena now to show us what's up. And Tilt has been I don't actually know how long Tilt's been playing, but they've only been playing on Board Game Arena for a fairly short time and has been doing really, really well. So I kind of think they must have acquired their skills somewhere else. If they played it on Super Duper games under this name, then I never happened to notice them. But they ended the ladder in the last season at the top. So congratulations to Tilt. Okay, Simon. Starting off with a red Goldilocks. Tilt takes yellow, blue, medium Gemini. So this is a microverse game. I didn't expect that. All right. Microverse and going second. So Tilt chose this. Tilt went second and then chose to connect the Homeworlds. I think in microverse games, first player has a statistical advantage. We'll see how this goes. Okay, Simon, especially in a microverse, I think you do kind of want to get a yellow quite early if you don't already have one, because if you want to make sure that if your opponent opens you up to a quick winning opportunity, you're ready to take it by having yellow to move over. But that gives Tilt time. Oh, but Tilt goes for a little red instead of a little blue. Well, okay, that is another thing. If you also want to have red as quickly as possible, because otherwise you open your opponent to having a lot more opportunities to come in and cause mischief. My usual advice is trade your small for the same color as any small stars, so that would have been blue. But in a microverse, a lot of things are different in a microverse. Yeah, I think Tilt is right to go for red instead. Okay, Simon, I think, is making a run for all the small yellows. Tilt's making a run at the reds. Simon gets the yellows. Tilt gets the reds. Now, okay, Simon takes another medium yellow out of the bank. I think hoping to get to the larges as quickly as possible, which is not a bad choice, I think. I think Tilt might regret making this a microverse, because Tilt took a medium yellow star, so there are fewer in the bank. Tilt has a lot of mediums to get through before they get a large red. So Tilt, I think they might be looking at trying to take the large yellows out of the bank so that there are fewer of them for Simon to get. But there are... it starts with 3. That's the trouble with the bank. Tilt's got a long way to go. Let's see, Simon now. Okay, spreading out the yellows. Okay, Simon's ready for a yellow shopping spree. I think Tilt might take another one of those big yellows out of the bank, though. Yeah. Okay, good foresight from Tilt. If Simon does a shopping spree now, it's not going to be nearly so effective. Okay, Simon doesn't bother with the mediocre shopping spree, just takes a little green. They might sacrifice the G3 to take the 2 yellows and pick up another green. This by building that little green first, they won't be completely out of green if they do the shopping spree, such as it is, and they'd get to do a third build, which makes it more valuable than it was. Tilt could even discover that last Y3 if they want to. But at that point, they'd be blocking themselves from building the medium reds, so I'm Not even positive that that's a good idea. Yeah, building the medium red I think is better. Simon doesn't even have a Y2 yet, so if Simon does something kind of unexpected, like trade the green for blue, Tilt could trade the R2 for Y2, but Simon would just build yellow, and then that's no good. Don't want Simon to get the Y3 without spending their G3 for it. Yeah, okay, so Simon went ahead and did the shopping spree. If they hadn't, I think Tilt would have just discovered that Y3, and Simon would have ended up with less yellow. Let's see. Does Tilt have any invasion up? So Tilt is the only one with any red. But if they invade a colony, Simon can run away and generally is not threatened, unless Tilt, say, sends an R2 to a yellow star and then invades Caster in 2 turns. But by then, Simon can trade for red. So I think Tilt might not get a good chance to use their reds here. Did I say Simon? Meant to Tilt. Well, okay, the shopping spree's better. That cleans out the most of the reds. Simon could trade for the R3. But Tilt would be able to get the star. Okay, if Simon... Alright, I'm going to try not to drag this out too much, but if Simon did trade the yellow for red, and Tilt moves the R3 in, the usual thing I always say to do when your large red... when a red star is being slow pushed is to sacrifice whatever red you have in order to capture the invading red. But when your only red ship is the only one, also the only one large enough to capture the invader, then that doesn't work. So Tilt would actually be able to slow push the red star, and Simon would lose. So Simon can't actually trade for this R3. Simon spreading out the yellows, I think in anticipation of Tilt invading. Now if Tilt invades, Simon can just run away. If Tilt... So sort of an interesting thing. If Tilt trades for green, then Simon can potentially... So if Tilt trades their R3 for G3, then it becomes a lot safer for Simon to trade for the R3 because the large that Tilt would be invading with would be green instead of red. And if they invade with a smaller ship... Oh no, if they invade with a smaller ship, then Simon's in trouble because of the... Alright, no, it doesn't. It's still a problem. Because Simon wouldn't want to sacrifice their large ship to capture things. Tricky. Yeah, so Simon still can't trade for that R3, even if Tilt puts another one in the bank. Simon now looking at the blue. Simon does have plenty of yellow. So if they get enough blue, then Tilt's in trouble. Tilt gets blue as well. Okay, Simon, I guess, should... Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, good thinking on Simon's part. Okay. So by trading away Tilt only had 2 red ships in a system, their homeworld, that was connected to Simon's homeworld. By trading away one of them, Tilt no longer has enough to overpopulate Simon's red star quickly enough. I don't know if I'm still not sure this is a good move, but Simon at least realized that this was not an instant star death. But I don't think Simon can actually use this as a way to capture anything. Simon won't be able to build a red, so their star would get knocked out. I think if Simon does this, Tilt just rebuilds R2 and Simon's back in the same predicament. Or Simon's going to build the R3. Sorry, Simon's going to build the Y3 on their next turn. Just forget about the star. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay. I appreciate that the players have not been taking turns back very often. It's made this go a little smoother. Okay, Tilt actually looking at moving their last red out of their home world in order to take that Y3 out of the bank. They want to keep that blue connected to Simon's home so that Simon can't build more blue at home just yet. But for Tilt, that also takes away the threat on the reds, so Simon could build an R2 if they felt like it. That totally lets Simon in to the reds. Yeah, this I think is the better move for Tilt. Simon will get to build the Y3, but then Tilt can put some pressure on Simon's home. Well, no, but then Simon can sacrifice the R3 to capture whatever Tilt invades with. And Tilt doesn't get the red star. Simon holds their own, I think, here. Okay. Yeah, Simon builds the Y3. Tilt... I think Tilt should move in with the R1. Even though it's not actually going to blow up Simon's star, it's going to force Simon to sacrifice the only... Well, no. Simon wouldn't have to sacrifice the red just to capture. Simon could just move the red out. Simon could have a mobile flagship. Okay, Tilt does do the invasion. Does Simon capture? I think Simon should capture. Because if Simon doesn't capture, then Tilt can start capturing things, and that really gets to be a nuisance. No, Simon looking at just moving out. I wonder... Oh, maybe it works out better because so Tilt can capture one thing, and worst case, Tilt captures something in Simon's home, and Simon then sacrifices to capture back. They've both spent an extra turn doing something that didn't go anywhere, and so it's no better or worse for Simon. But if Tilt does something else, then maybe Simon can get away with more. Let's see what Tilt does. If Tilt captures, I think Simon ought to sacrifice to capture both. Oh, really? Looking at a draw? So this is back to the exact same position a second time. I guess what is the problem with Simon sacrificing R3 to capture both of these guys. Tilt gets to build an R3. Well, I guess I'm a little embarrassed that I don't see why Simon didn't want to capture both of these. Okay, they kept trading back and forth and made it a draw. Well, that's really the end. I'm going to thank you for watching, and thanks to the players for a really strong game, I think, except I'm a little confused here at the end. I'm going to keep looking and thinking about this, and looking at this, and it'll prolong the video a little. Just stick around if you feel like it. Maybe I will go ahead and oh, wait, let's see. Do I have my shortcut still? Yes. Okay. Gonna pop over to the sandbox. All right, let's go back a couple turns here. Same. So Tilt moves in. Simon moves out. Tilt captures. Simon sacrifices for the 2 captures. All right, now it's Tilt's turn. What's Tilt's big threat? Sacrifice for 3 builds? Maybe? They don't want to build the B3 because they'd lose the star. They don't want to build the other R1 at home, and they probably don't even want to build it out here. I mean, I don't see that these other builds are too great, because Simon can sacrifice, move. That's, I mean, other than the blue, which could be skipped, that's not too bad, I guess. Is it just the build R3? Is this really so devastating? I mean, it's not good. But Simon's ships are still a lot more mobile. All right, well, I guess I won't drag this out forever. I think I'll just post in the Discord, see what you guys think. We might even hear from one of the players. Except I think Simon's. I don't think Simon's in the Discord, and I don't think Tilt is either. But but other people better at this than me are. So, yeah. All right. Final thanks to you all for watching. See you next time.